so much for joining us for this evening's performance at the Millennium stage. Please welcome to the stage the composer and co-lyricist of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Stephen Lutvak.
There's a store on the corner selling comic books and candyware. When I was 8, I lived a life of crime. I never did time, but I would steal little stuff. But it was enough to feel that I would really rather spend the dime. And so I swore there and then I would not steal again. And I did not, well, not a lot, not at least till I was 10. And over there, that's the store where I do not go anymore. And I just wanted you to know. There's an alley under the highway. Yes, it's pretty dark and scary. Yes, well, that's the place where I first learned to kiss. So why am I telling you this? I would go where the other kids who were in the know would go, and they would show me what to do. And in turn, I would learn about the adolescent body as it tumbled toward and fumbled finding bliss. So X marks the spot where I hung out a lot, and yes, I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to know who I am, who I was, what being with you does, and how you make me feel. I want to steal, I want to kiss. You can do whatever you want with this, but I just wanted you to know. I have loved in the years since hanging out on corners, and I've learned a bit and hurt a little too. What else is new? So have we all. But my point, if I can make it, is that nothing has prepared me right for you. You see, the things that I show and what I want for you to know, I hope will say what I cannot express. That yes, I confess, I can't believe my feelings, and I guess I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to know who I am, who I was, what being with you does, and how you make me feel. I want to kiss, I want to tell, you make me feel so what the hell. I just wanted you to know. 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 Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out tonight in this weather. I'm so happy to be here. I hope you're happy to be here. I have to tell you that schlepping my suitcase up to the Kennedy Center and seeing the sign for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, larger than my apartment, over the door was quite a thrilling moment. So, good evening, and my name is indeed, Bobby didn't lie, my name is Stephen Lutvak, and I'm the composer and co-lyricist of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which we'll be performing in an hour and 25 minutes. This is not my first time at the Millennium stage. I do want to tell you that I think we figured out it was, 14 months ago? I was asked down here to be part of an ASCAP series. And I was also singing on a Monday or a Tuesday night. And there wasn't a show, well, certainly my show was not playing here, but there was no show playing at any of the theaters, and it rained. You all in Washington don't do well with weather, do you? And that was just rain. There were 6 people here, and one was my niece. I'm not kidding, actually. And so when I looked at the tour schedule, I wrote the nice folks at the Millennium stage, and I said, "Hey guys, you want to give this another shot?" And then it snowed. I don't want to connect the dots for you all. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in our next 57 minutes or so. I'm going to sing some songs, and I'm responsible for every song that you will hear from this stage. Actually from this stage and from that stage. But on this stage, music and lyrics, sometimes collaborators, other lyricists will make guest appearances. But I'm just going to give you some songs and try to prove, as I've been trying to prove in the world now, that not every song I write sounds like England in 1907. Are there any questions so far? Can I get you anything? We have some special guests with us tonight, and I'll keep referring to them until I actually introduce them to you and you all to them. But I think, are we good so far? Okay, good. Thank you. I see thumbs up, and I know the people with the thumbs up, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Here is a song that I wrote in 1986. I know that because on the music it says 1986, and I hand wrote it. So it was the days before everything could be written on music paper. I actually studied to be a copyist in college. I was sort of a sideline because there were actually people who copied, you remember this? Copied music by hand before everything was done on Finale. And this is a song about my very first piano teacher, whose voice you will shortly hear. I think that's all you need to know right now, and I'm glad that I'm remembering to lower the microphone.
Sit up nice and tall now. No slouching, please. Round fingers, raise each finger and curve it. Very good. Ouch. Watch that sharp. Now you have to try that again. That's better.
Mrs. Whitney taught me the... We're having technical difficulties. Good. Mrs. Whitney taught me the piano before my feet could even reach the pedals. Keep your back straight, fingers high, Mrs. Whitney said. And like a G clef, she was round, and her hair was wound around the crown of her head. Brahms, the Rhapsodies especially. She would play it first for me, then I would play. And sometimes she would play from My Fair Lady. Mrs. Whitney taught me the piano every Thursday afternoon at 4. Use the pedal, use it lightly. And she taught much more, which was bad and which was good, and what a shame the neighborhood is changing. Be careful. Ooh, she loved recitals. They brought to her such never-ending joys. The good ones made music, the bad ones made noise. She'd whisper who was Jewish and which ones liked little boys. Be careful. Mrs. Whitney taught me the piano up until we moved when I was 9. Keep your back straight, fingers curled. Mrs. Whitney taught me all about the world, and everything that she could play, she would show me how. But whatever would she say if she could see me now? Be careful. Thank you very much. And yes, that was actually, Mrs. Nelson is her real name. That was Mrs. Nelson on that recording, which I made for, my first CD, which curiously enough will be for sale at just over there. Imagine that. This is my first CD called The Time It Takes, and the second one, curiously enough, is also for sale. More about those later. But Mrs. Nelson goes to sleep every night at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not kidding. She's now 95, and my husband and I actually celebrated her birthday with her, which was tearful, to say the least. And when she recorded it, she said, I know that she's up till 4 o'clock in the morning, so we brought her into the studio right about midnight. And in the middle of the song, of the recording, she said, "Why do I keep saying be careful?" And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to explain this to her. Because she had actually, all of that was true. Everything she said in there was absolutely the truth. And my producer said to her, "Because that's how the song goes?" And she said, "Okay." And that was that. On some level, songwriters, we're all judged by the love songs we write. This is a song called Unexpected Complications, which, I'm singing tonight because my husband's not here. I had a relationship with somebody named Brian, who my husband refers to as 3-Song Brian. And this is one of his songs. I did, however, for our wedding, I wrote a song for Michael, and he now refers to himself as 1-Song Michael. 1 song so far, I say. So this is Unexpected Complications, and it goes like this. And the waitress has an accent which I'm thinking might be Russian. There's a candle on the table, and your eyes are awfully green. And I'm glad you chose the restaurant, and I'm glad we made it early, and I'm glad about a lot of things. You know what I mean. And the jacket that you're wearing is decidedly outrageous, but you said so when you got here 11 minutes minutes late. And if it's true I have a heart, then I think it might be bursting, though of course I hardly know you. This is just a second date. And you say that I'm an unexpected complication, and you smile when you say it, and I say, so are you for me? Is anybody simple? Well, no one at this table, but here you are, and here am I. Nothing more to say except we'll see, nothing more to say except we'll see. And the waitress has returned now, only now she's sounding Swedish, and she's asking how we're doing. Still, I tell her we're okay. And I wish that I were psychic, and I wish that you were taller, and I wish it wasn't Thursday, and I wish it wasn't midnight, and I wish that I'd start breathing, and I wish that you'd stop talking, so that I could maybe kiss you, but I somehow find a way. Unexpected complications. Seems to me that there are many worse things one could be. Is anybody simple? Well, no one that I like much, but here you are, and here am I. Nothing more to say except we'll see, nothing more to say except we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Please stop talking. Thank you very much. Better beware. No. Beware the anger of soft-spoken men. They will surprise you again and again and again. Beware the anger of soft-spoken men. Beware the anger of soft-spoken men. The man who smiles as he opens up your door. The man who smiles as he offers you some more. Anyone who smiles shows you too much teeth. Beware the anger that's underneath. Beware the anger of soft-spoken men. They will surprise you again and again and again. There's G.I. Joe behind those baby blues of Ken. Beware the anger of soft-spoken men. Somebody told us, always be nice. Always say yes. Never think twice. Nobody told us there's always a price if you never learn how to say no. Somebody told us always say yes. Must have been someone important, I guess. Nice is nice, but nevertheless, where does the anger go? beware the anger of soft-spoken men. Just like the bull with his eyes on the lock of the pen. If you should open it, better stand back and then beware the anger of soft. I'm telling you, you better recognize the style. We'd eat you for breakfast with a smile. Go ahead and let yourself be charmed, but remember, forewarned is forearmed. Beware, 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 beware the anger of, beware the anger of, beware the anger of soft-spoken men. We will surprise you again and again and again. There's Genghis Khan under all that fucking zen. Beware the anger of soft. Beware the anger of soft. Beware the anger of soft. Spoken man. Oh, that's okay, Bob. I don't mind that you ran the two tracks together, really. It's not a problem. I don't mind that we only have slightly more than 6 people here tonight. Oh, really? Don't worry about it. It's really okay. I don't hold grudges. Really, I don't. Bob, I hope you know I was kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Bob on sound and Josh on lights. You know, I really was going to say, I thought of it too late. There wasn't time enough to say, I really don't hold grudges. I'm just the guy who wrote the musical about the man who kills everyone in his family. The unbelievable vocal arrangement of that was written by a very dear and longtime friend and collaborator of mine named Diane Adams McDowell, and I point out to you guys that she's actually the woman who wrote the vocal arrangements in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. I believe in a kind of loyalty when I'm not holding grudges. What else can I tell you? We're almost to the guest artists section. Any questions thus far? Anything I need to clarify? We'll get there. Thank you. Okay, these 2 songs are both about my childhood. I will run them together as if one number. They're called The House That I Grew Up In and Museums. And Museums, oddly enough, has become my most requested song, which is doesn't make a lot of sense to me. What are those bells? Is the show about to begin? Are we okay time? We're okay time-wise, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, I hope not, too. It's 6:24. We're okay? Okay, I'll do these songs. I'll do them quickly. Okay, the next time I see you, I'll be over there. And see you in a minute. Actually, just for safety's sake, we're not going to do The House That I Grew Up In. We're just going to go right to Museums. I think we're safer for you guys. You sure? Okay. My fan base is telling me do both songs. So there you go. Thank you. You're my fan base. Last night I went and stood outside the house that I grew up in. Been so long since I was there, I had to go and see. And I wondered on the highway what the house would look and feel like. Would it be my memory? It wasn't easy at the house that I grew up in, but I wouldn't be the man I am if life were perfect then. But after all the years and after all of my addresses, was I coming home again? Was I coming home? There were the bricks, I watched them lay along the driveway. I helped my father plant that tree 1,000,000 years ago. It may be just the photographs are all that I remember. Very hard to know. And I can see the milk box and the swing set and the sliding pond, the station wagon parked out front, the backyards where we'd play. And suddenly I realize I'm older than my parents were the day we moved away. I stood beside the tree and I picked off a bloom, feeling like a thief or like a ghost who shouldn't be there. And someone had a light on in my room. Someone has a light on in my room. I walk museums in search of my father. I scrutinize the paintings and the patrons with great care, for I'm an expert on all the great museums, and part of me is always hoping he will be there. He took me up all the marble stairways, let me hold his finger till I had grown, and it was he who introduced me to the wonders I would find there, and later let me wander on alone, see the brushwork so passionate and strong. Do you feel the rhythm as your eyes moved along? And look there in the shadows, how the colors subtly dim. My father sees the painting, and I am watching him. An hour later, we'd start to leave the gallery, down the marble stairway. The two of us would wind, returning to the street and to our old familiar silence, leaving all the paintings far behind. See the rustle of her ball gown as she dances with the man who is her lover. Feel the pressure of his hand, and the moonlight pouring through the arbor to the faces of the dancers and the whirling of the band. See the garden See the cafe, you can almost hear the chatter and the glasses and the flirting and the sighs. See the laughter in the faces and the joy that rings forever in the violet and the longing in the eyes. I walk museums in search of my father. I look in all the paintings for the man I hardly knew, searching through the brushstrokes in the paintings of the masters, exactly as my father taught me to. Just as my father used to do. See the violet in the shadows and the longing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. As many of you know, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder finished its Broadway run on the 17th. So what is that, about a week and a half, less than a week and a half ago. And people keep asking me what it was like, and it's very hard to describe any of it accurately. But one of the moments that was remarkable to me was putting my parents, my 87-year-old dad, and my 84-year-old mom in the car home afterwards, and my husband turning to me and saying, you know, this has been such a part of our lives for so many years, and you know, they were there all the way through it. So anyway, it's lovely to share. Now, what I was going to say is this, it just feels so intimate here, and you're the most extraordinary audience. I felt like you were barely breathing. That was, thank you very much for that. Okay, so now we are at good. We're right on time. Our special guests. I've twisted the collective arms of some of the cast members of A Gentleman's Guide to do a couple of songs for us now. And so how many of you in the audience are going to see A Gentleman's Guide tonight? This is for you. Thank you very much. We're going to do two numbers now. We're going to do probably, actually, it's sort of interesting. We're going to do Poison in My Pocket. Thank you for laughing. I love that already. I gather most of you who'll be coming to see it are seeing it for the first time? Oh. 8 times? 8 times in Washington?
No, 8 times on Broadway.
Wow.
It's 7 times on Broadway, 8 here.
Oh my God, who are you?
I'm a crazy girl who starts smiling in the front row through the whole show. Ask Jefferson. He'll know.
What's your name, crazy girl? Hi, Faith? Hi, Faith. How are you? Everybody, that's Faith. She's seen A Gentleman's Guide 8 times and is coming. Faith, I'm tempted to say get a life, but don't. Just keep coming. Just keep coming. That's amazing. Well, some of you don't know the story to A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Is that correct? Okay, so in a nutshell, Monty Navarro, who will be played this evening by Kevin Massey, learns that he stands in line unbeknownst to him. Those of you who are standing in the back, we got some seats. You're welcome to come in. It's okay. Nobody here bites unless you're comfortable standing. Whatever you want. It's all good. It's all fine. You're here, and I'm here, and it snowed. So Monty Navarro has recently learned that he actually stands in line to inherit a great title and fortune, and he, despite all his efforts to make nice with the family and make peace are rebuffed, and so he makes what I believe is the very logical choice to just murder all of the Dysquiths who stand in the way of him inheriting so that he can inherit. Usually that gets a laugh. I must have told it badly. In any case, this number is called Poison in My Pocket, and at this point he has only killed one of the Dysquiths. Is that correct? And that is arguable as to whether or not he actually did it, that he actually made the murder happen, or if it just sort of happened. And so this is the first time that he's deciding whether or not he's going to actually do it. And John Rapson plays 9 Dysquith family members. Although I guess I blew the show's cover. We only admit to 8 because there's a secret in there. You'll find it. And at this point, he is playing Asquith Dysquith Jr., who has come to Chiselmere, which is a winter resort. And he has brought with him Miss Evangeline Barley, late of Hackney's music hall. No, is it music hall in Hackney? In Hackney, right? And they're down for a salacious weekend. There, I said it. And do I need to say any more? Is that that give you the number? I'm sorry, what? I won't give you the... Well, okay, well, then we won't. Ladies and gentlemen, as Monty Navarro, Kevin Massey, as Asquith Dysquith Jr., Mr. John Rapson, and Leslie McKinnell, who will be Evangeline Barley.
Oh, we should mention they're skating and.
Oh yes, it's a winter resort.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And is that will that do it?
You gonna do the other lyrics?
After.
Gotcha.
Yes. Are we good? Any questions so far? You all with us?
You and I go sailing by, and no one will know where to find us. Unseen, unknown, and blissfully alone, we are leaving the riffraff behind us. All afternoon in our sweet cocoon, our cares for the moment at bay. Side by side, who knows how far we'll glide. Bid the world goodbye, eagerly we fly away.
Exit.
I'm standing here with poison in my pocket, standing on this frozen little dock. It seems that I just let them skate my opportunity away. If I'd had the poise to put the poison in a pot of tea or else a shot of gin, I would be back amid the noise of London by the end of day. But I'm standing here with poison in my pocket, one eye on the target, one eye on the clock. It better happen soon before I lose my nerve and run. If I had a knife, I could have grabbed him, then discreetly knocked him on the head and stabbed him. Not to mention what I would have done if I'd had a gun. Then again, the thought occurs, if I had truly taken stock, it might have stopped me putting poison in my pocket. What a fool to travel all this way and nothing twice. Murder's not a hobby for the cautious. Thoughts of violence can make the timid nauseous. Unless, of course, the victim plunges headlong through the ice. It appears that I've been handed quite an opportune solution. All that still remains is proper execution. I'd better join them on the lake before it gets too late. Suddenly there is no stumbling block. It means that I will need the poison in my pocket. What a stroke of luck. Sabella teased me till I learned to skate.
Closer now, time is racing.
Time is racing,
now time is racing on. It's all a matter of pacing. In a moment, this moment will be gone.
With the rhythm of the violinist, I'll be sawing where I live the ice is thinnest to create a fool. The rich and tragic lovers meet their doom. See, this rather diabolic is a strange feeling. We don't know. Twinge of some remorse, of course, for conscience I see. But as I'm touching, I'm contemplating, and the truth is, it's a turn exhilarating, even though it is not inconceivable that I'll be right. Still, it comes as quite a shock. It seems a novice standing here with poison in his pocket. To discover murdering is easier than he had thought.
Eagerly we fly
And Asquith and Miss Barley fall through the ice.
Oh, shit.
Hilariously. And repeatedly. And drown.
I think, yes. Okay, bye.
Away! All of this is frankly easier than I had thought.
Kevin Massey, John Rabson, and Leslie McKinnell. Now, some of you may know that this show actually took 11 years to get to Broadway. And sometimes people say, what possibly could have happened along those 11 years? All sorts of things. I'll tell you when the show's over. But this song itself actually had 3 completely different scenarios that happened in the song. In the first version, we were originally based on the movie Kind Hearts and Coronets, and we got into, how shall I say, a little legal dispute with the film company. We actually had the rights with them originally, and then the film company changed their mind, and there was a major international lawsuit. But in the original movie, the way that the murderer kills them is that the Asquith Jr. character and his mistress are on a boat, and Monty sings this. He sings, I am standing here with poison in my pocket, standing on this charming little dock. It seems I've let them go and rob my opportunity away. If I'd had the chance to put the poison in a pot of tea or else a shot of gin, I would be halfway back to London surely by the end of day. But the lyrics are the same there until... then again, the thought occurs if I had truly taken stock, it might have stopped me putting poison in my pocket, made me even reconsider coming here at all. Murder's not a hobby for the cautious, thoughts of violence can make the timid nauseous. And he reads a sign that says, danger, deadly waterfall ahead, river boaters are advised to moor their craft securely. And he sings, unless, of course, the victim plunges down a waterfall. So it seems that I've been handed quite an opportune solution. All that still remains is proper execution. If I send him down the river, that will be the end of him. Suddenly there is no stumbling block. It means that I won't need the poison in my pocket. Oh, the foresight mother had, insisting I be taught to swim. Well, of course, thank you very much. Once we split with the film company, we could not use that scenario because that scenario was indigenous to the movie. So we decided then that Monty would go in a car with Miss Barley and park on a sort of lover's lane. And that Asquith Jr. and Miss Barley would park in a car, in which case Monty in this version, well, you'll see. He disguised himself as a painter. You've never heard any of this, have you? Yes, he disguised himself as a painter because Miss Barley made her living as an artist's model, and that's how they were hoping to catch their eye. And so he sang this, and I am standing here with poison in my pocket, hoping opportunity will knock. It seems that I've just let them ride that possibility away. This is the same. If I'd had the poise to put the poison in a pot of tea or else a shot of gin, I would be back amid the noise of London by the end of day. But then second half of this becomes, then again the thought occurs if I had truly taken stock. Oh, you know what? I'm jumping the gun here. That's a funny phrase, isn't it? Oh, here it is. Then again, the thought occurs if I had truly taken stock, it might have stopped me putting poison in my pocket. Could it be my upper lip is not so very stiff? Murder's not a hobby for the cautious. Thoughts of violence can make the timid nauseous. Unless, of course, the victim plunges headlong off a cliff. It appears that I've been handed quite an opportune solution. All that still remains is proper execution. By the look of it, this road is not too frequently policed. Suddenly there is no stumbling block. It means that I won't need the poison in my pocket. Oh, the foresight to invent a break so easily released. There was one more. Thank you. The lawyers wouldn't allow us to use that because it was too close to them. It was the victims in a mode of transportation. So we came up with another one. Undaunted, we came up with the idea that Monty in his youth had worked briefly at a carnival. And so Asquith, and Miss Barley go to a midway And there's, of course, the famous moment when Miss Barley says, "Oh, look, Asquith, a Ferris wheel." And so, I don't remember, it would take too long to explain this, but Monty, because he knows how Ferris wheels work, gets them up in the Ferris wheel. And then again, the thought occurs, if I had truly taken stock, it might have stopped me putting poison in my pocket. Oh, my word, am I in truth a trifle too genteel? Murder's not a hobby for the cautious. Thoughts of violence can make the timid nauseous, unless, of course, the victim plunges off a Ferris wheel. At that point, Darko said, I don't know how to make that work on stage. It's much too expensive. And it was actually Darko who came up with the current solution now. Anyway, I share those in the spirit that I thought it might be fun to hear that. Thank you very much. Quickly, one more number from Gentleman's Guide, which is my sort of proudest moment. It's kind of one of my proudest moments. Monty has always been in love with Sibella. Sibella wouldn't marry him because he has no money. He then begins his murderous spree, and as you all will see, or many of you will see tonight, or some of you have seen 7 or 8 times apparently, the family embraces Monty to their bosom, and all of a sudden Monty's fortunes rise. So the now very married Sibella decides to resume her affair with Monty. Meanwhile, Monty has now met the younger sister, Phoebe, the younger sister of one of the family members he has murdered. And because if he's going to become Earl, well, who's going to be his Countess? And so he is romancing her. You got that? Good. You're wiser men than I, and women. From the second act, ladies and gentlemen, now, with Kristen Beth Williams as Sibella, and Adrian Eller as Phoebe, and Kevin Massey once again as Monty. Now, you also have to know that in those many years of developing the show, we did this often in cabaret settings. And one of the signs to me that we were maybe onto something was that this number, I don't think I've ever told you guys this, the number got the same response in a cabaret setting with 3 actors and music stands. So that when it was among the things that made me go, okay, we're going to fight for this. So I'm very proud to present these extraordinary artists singing I've Decided to Marry You from Act 2 of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Monty has spent the afternoon with Sibella. At a very awkward moment, there's a knock on the door. And who should it be but...
Miss Asquith!
Mr. Navarro, forgive my intrusion.
This is so unexpected.
I needed to see you, and see you today.
Yes, of course.
Mr. Navarro, I have arrived at a stunning conclusion, and I feared I would lose my resolve if I didn't come here directly to say I've decided to marry you. I've decided to marry you. I've decided, though Henry's gone, that life goes on for me. I have thoroughly thought it through, and the man that I want is you. Though it's true there are quite a few who'd strongly disagree. Nevertheless, I will marry you. I confess that I'm frightened too, but unless I am wrong, you long for love as much as I. This is quite unconventional, I admit, but why should that matter a whit? And if you do not say yes at once, I think I'll die.
Miss Asquith, you've rendered me speechless. May I call you Phoebe?
What am I doing here? This could be dangerous if I'm discovered. Imagine the scandal, and I couldn't handle a scandal so risible. I'll stay invisible, still as can be. But what's going on in there? I can hear voices, I recognize Monty, but is that a woman? And if that's a woman, then what is she doing here? Is it the cousin? I wish I could see. If it's that cousin, it might just be business. It's family business and none of my business. But why is she here in the home of a bachelor? Of course, one could point out that I'm here as well. But does she not realize this situation puts her reputation severely in question? The merest suggestion would cause a sensation, and I cannot hear, which is hell.
I'll be born not to marry you.
I could go home.
I'll be scorned if I marry you.
I should go home.
I've decided to live my life and be alive again. I believe for my life is
I should be off.
After grieving, I've grieved.
But he makes me laugh. There is nothing can bend the will like half Castilian men.
And there's goodness to spare in you.
Isn't this fun?
And the gentleness that in you.
Isn't she done?
You have taken a wounded bird and taught her how to fly.
And if this is my eye, this is quite unconventional, is it not? Rather a turn in the plot.
And say, will I be your fiancé?
Why didn't you send the cow away?
Phoebe, darling.
When I recall this day, I think I'll cry. Oh,
What was what?
That sound! Is there someone here?
Pay no attention, that's my new manservant. He's just finding his way around. I'll be with you in a moment. Wadsworth? Isn't this madness? Who could foresee how one trick of timing can ruin it all? One in the parlor, one in the bedroom, nothing between them but me and a wall. Look at Phoebe, noble and pious, my esteem for her only grows. But when I'm with Phoebe, I am on fire, thinking of Sabella, full of desire, passion, and dare I say it, love. But when I'm with Sabella, whom do I admire? None but Phoebe, perfect and lovely. Who couldn't love her? Heaven knows. Round and round and round it goes. How happy I'd be to be at your disposal, my darling. Of course, I accept your proposal.
Now we should kiss.
That would be bliss.
Darling, but first I'll say this. I've decided to marry you.
Phoebe.
I've decided to marry you.
Sabella.
The trumpet I
Phoebe, fall and set me free. Then again, the Sabella. Yes, I've decided to marry you. I've married you, Phoebe. Look what you've done to me. Phoebe. Wadsworth.
Monty.
I'm grateful indeed for your gracious bestowment. Yes, Wadsworth, I told you, pay just a moment.
Now, Monty, dear, I think I now should go. But I still want to marry you.
Even so.
I've decided to marry you.
Just go. I'm longing to marry you.
Yes, I've decided to marry you, marry you, marry us, and you must go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Beth Williams, Adrian Eller, and Kevin Massey. Now, guys, go backstage. You need to go backstage. Thank you so much for doing this. How swell is that, right? I'm not quite sure why I'm coming back here. Any questions? Can I get you anything? Oh, right. CDs and other tchotchkes, that's a technical term. Other merchandise from the show is available just over there, and once again, at the risk of shameless self-promotion, my 2 CDs are available as well. Ahead of My Heart is the newer, smaller one. It's just me live at the piano, and The Time It Takes is me with everything from a full orchestra to me with alone at the piano. All songs of mine, one song I wrote with Stephen Schwartz of Wicked and Godspell and Pippin, and one with Carol Hall, who wrote The Best of the Laura House in Texas. And I think, actually, it's time to do that song. This is I'll Imagine You a Song, which a number of years ago, Carol sent me this lyric. Imagine getting a lyric like this in your fax machine. Remember fax machines? And this was the song we wrote, and no, oh my word, I can't leave this stage without acknowledging my extraordinary collaborator on A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, the Tony Award-winning book writer and co-lyricist Robert L. Friedman. I'll tell him you said so. And here's a song, as I said, that I wrote with Carol Hall. And if I believed in heaven, I believe that now you're singing in the choir. And if I believed in angels, I'd imagine you in white and quite the flower. And if I believed in reasons, then I wouldn't ask why dying seems so wrong. But I just believe in music, so I guess that I'll imagine you a song. And if I'd read up on Einstein, I would think the world is rational and right. And if I put faith with logic. Well, I suppose that I might someday see the light. You are gone now, and I miss you. People tell me time will heal and I'll feel strong. But I just believe in music, so I guess that I'll imagine you a song. I'll imagine you a song, and it will lead me like a friend, and it will reach inside and linger in my ear. I'll imagine you a song, because the music has no end. And what that means is you'll forever be right here. And if I'd had time for magic, I might think we all get put here in a spell, just to weave things into wonders, and to live and love and try to do it well. And if I believed in questions, then my answers wouldn't have to take so long. But I just believe in music, so I guess that I'll imagine you a song. I'll imagine you a song, and it will take me by the hand, and it will stay inside my soul and set me free. I'll imagine you a song until I finally understand that what that means is you are always part of me. All our days on earth are measures. All we ever have is what we learn to give. And if we're wise, we look for treasures every single breathing moment that we live. And if I believed in endings, then I never would have loved you for this long. But I just believe in music. 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 So I guess that I'll imagine you a song. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. Hello, Washington. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful time at the show tonight. I'm told that's all we've got time for. It's been very touching to me to be here tonight and play my music with you. And now you're going to go see more of it. Have a wonderful time. And thank you, everybody. Everybody. Good night.